Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade in the
Shade in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and we are getting into the finale, right? Of Put a Ring on It. I do. You know,
Do you?
do you? So yeah, guys, let's get into it. We know we saw Kenneth show his whole ass. And shout out to Kenneth if you watched the review because he did like the tweet. So I can appreciate you for that, but I don't know if you'll like the review. But if you're watching it, shout out to Kenneth. And we appreciate you, Brian. Let's get into it and let's get shady.
So all the couples are coming in, and we notice that Shorty comes in. No, Kenneth. Kenneth comes in not too long after her. I mean, they sit next to each other, but they clearly
There's
ain't
a lot of tension in the room. All the other couples feel it. It's quiet. It's cold as ice.
So Dr. Nicole wants to jump right in and talk about their new developments in their relationship. And Shorty says, we definitely are not together. She says that they broke up because he disrespected her by cursing her out, calling her out her name.
Calling all types of bees and hoes.
And Kenneth says the problem is she couldn't smell her own shit. I said, okay. And of course, they start arguing. She tried to explain that, he was calling her all types of bitches and hoes. And he tells her, go on, play the victim. I said, hey.
So Dr. Nicole breaks it up.
Yeah, exactly. She tells him, whatever you don't learn from this dynamic, you are sure to take it into your next dynamic. It'll be two new people. You can't get away from yourself. I said, Dr. Nicole, woman, are you a therapist or a preacher, lady?
Right. I think what she was trying to say was they're both toxic.
And she hopes that they move forward and figure out what's next to recover. She says she'll gladly meet with them privately, individually, but she believes that their journey has come to an end. Kenneth is leaving, and he says, he expected things to go, he expected things to go differently. He expected to get on one knee, but yeah,
it didn't work out like that.
Didn't work out that way. And Shorty waits until Kenneth leaves completely, and tells production, "Can you make sure he gone first?" I'm confused as to what's going on here. This is not. I feel like we ain't getting everything that's going on in this relationship on the show.
I think that's why Dr. Nicole said, I'm not even going to try to counsel y'all no more as a couple. We just got to.
But the fact she says she hopes that they work through whatever. Okay, whatever. Well, she says she wasn't expecting this outcome. She was actually hoping that they would have, come closer to their wedding. But that's not how it turned out. And she wants to work on herself and find the person that is for her. As she hops in her range and pulls the fuck off. I want to see what the hell Kenneth is trying. Then she wants to know about Shay and Fonzo's date. And she says basically he got fresh dab. Okay. He put on the jewelry. He had his shirt open. He did the whole shebang. And that's what she was complaining about. He going out with these girls, getting all fresh and stuff. He did it all for his boo. She said the date was really nice, and they discussed the things that needed to be done to move forward. Mm-hmm. She also says that they're on the road. She's on the road to forgiveness. But to be honest and transparent, there's a lot of work to be done in that area. Dr. Nicole says you can give yourself You can give yourself a whole lot of things.
Give yourself a whole lot of gifts, but forgiveness will not
be on the registry. But it would be worth more than you can ever imagine. And it's a gift for you. She asked if, he was able to connect with the mother of his child. And he says, yes, he did. He was apologetic and he explained to her, that he was wrong. We know she wasn't
ended so things wrong. He wants to start anew.
And Shay says, that she's happy he took the steps to make the phone call, but she can only hold him accountable for the things that they agreed to. And she says that she can't control anyone else, that he can't control anyone else, and neither can she. But she might feel this way for a long time. I said, oh, okay. Everyone clapped for Shay. Even Charlene says she's a little bit jealous of her growth.
And Dr. Nicole says I said we've had a breakthrough. Dr. Nicole said we have had a paradigm shift. I said, I got to go Google that. You got to go
Google that, huh? So then she wants to know about how Otis's date went. And he said it was good, it was smooth.
And she asked, well, did you really just go on this date with Cherie because Charlene went on a date with Chris? And you're petty.
He was like, wait, did she say it first or did I? Negro, you know who said it first. Charlene corrected that real quick. No, it was me. And really, you were just being petty. Okay. And she says she's only been on 3 dates with Chris, but he made her feel really appreciated. And she can appreciate the fact that he recognizes that she is a dope chick.
Right.
Now, it's not that she doesn't get this from Otis, but she wished that he would, say it more.
Say it a little more.
And Otis says, I think, she's hearing compliments from everybody that she isn't cursing out. Says she's feeling appreciated from someone she's been on 3 dates with. Wow. Nicole says she will give you information. When it comes into your computer, it goes through a filter and comes back out some way, diminishing what she's asking. Especially if you're hearing her saying that you're not doing something right. Otis don't feel that way. He don't agree. Charlie is sitting here in tears. Basically. She says she just wants him to understand. And she's tired of arguing. She don't want to do this shit no more. Nicole said she gave you the ball. What she's saying is she gave you the information. And instead of you telling her what she wants to hear and doing what she wants to hear, you're blaming everybody else. Oh, it's the guy she went on 3 dates with, or, it's because she's not cursing them out. Instead of just saying, you know what? I can do that. That's what you want. I love you. I can do that. And I can do that forever. So she says to her, this is the guy that you are engaged to. You want to be engaged to. Now, if you're not getting what you want now, what makes you think forever is going to be what you want? She said, Charlene, that's some real shit.
That's some real shit.
That's some shit.
I got to think about that.
So she lets the guys know, look, I got an assignment for y'all. Okay, to put it in perspective. Okay, y'all going wedding ring shopping. And I want you to imagine and think about whether this is truly who you want to spend the rest of your life with. And if she is really the one. And ask yourself, is it time to move on or put a ring on it?
All right. So Fonzo and Otis go to look at rings. Fonzo said he's a little bit nervous, but he's happy that him and Shay are, on the right path, headed in the right direction. Otis is looking at an emerald cut for Miss Charlena, apparently.
Or like he said, rectangle.
Rectangle. Bless his heart. I was trying to give him some more credit. You couldn't give Cleophas no credit, but okay. So
he wasn't the one that said emerald cut.
But Fonzo apparently already has a ring and is talking about enhancing it. Apparently, as we know, he loves
jewelry connoisseur.
So yes, he's getting up there. He's like, add this and this cut and and this carrot. I said, I am not mad at it. Otis said that he would like to focus on being aware of what he could be doing wrong to get them to backslide. He said, regardless of anything, Charlena is pretty much it for him. That's what he wants to do. So he admits that he can be a little stubborn and there may be some selfishness in there somewhere. Who would have thunk it? Now, Fonzo then talks about how Fonzo's just agreeing with him, like, yeah, you need to work on that, bro. But then he's like, this dude is taking a long time calculating this transaction. This is taking a real long time. I'm a little concerned.
It clearly ain't cheap.
Right. It ain't cheap.
So Shay sits down with Dr. Nicole, and they both agree that she's come a long way. Okay. I agree too.
We're rooting for you, Shay.
And she asked, where is she now? And she said, she's sorting through everything and making sure she's holding true to herself. Dr. Nicole wants to know, what that looks like. And she says, that means she's not wavering. And if she's not satisfied, with like a conversation or, they're learning how to communicate. If she's not happy with a response, they continue to communicate. And so,
okay.
She said she had an epiphany. And her thought pattern, she realized, is not the only one that exists. I'm gonna let that one go. Since she's come so far.
Right.
But she wants to learn, she wants to let the past go. She says what it boils down to is she doesn't want to get hurt again. And Dr. Nicole says, in order to really love, that is a part of the bargain. You have to have yourself open to get hurt. Basically, nobody wants to get hurt.
Right.
But in order to truly be in love, you have to open yourself up. And she asked her if she recognized that, through time that, there's a possibility he could cause her some hurt. And she does. She knows that it's possible, but she's like, at least we can talk through it honestly. At least she hopes so. Let's have no more bitches coming up to him asking for money, okay? Dr. Nicole says there's been a lot of progress and she's looking forward to seeing where things go. Us too.
Now, Otis has his final meeting with Dr. Nicole, and he knows that him and Dr. Nicole have bumped heads on a couple of occasions, but he's hoping that, it'll be a decent session. Now, he tells us how this process has been good, even in the bad. He says that he feels that the process has brought them closer together. And then Dr. Nicole says, well, do you feel like you're in a good space? And he says, I do. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Nicole says, that's not what Charlena says. And then she goes on to say,
listen to her ass no way.
Right. She then goes on to say, I watch you and I watch her, and I don't think you realize.
No. What she said was, I listen to her and I watch you. I don't know why I felt like that spoke volumes, because he does not listen to her.
Right.
So
good point. So I listen to her, I watch you, and I don't think you realize some of the toxicity in your exchange. I said, ooh. And she said, in the pieces that are missing, they're consistently missing. She said, once the engagement is done and the wedding is done, it's the marriage. Otis says he doesn't feel that way at all. And
you hard-headed as fuck.
Right. And Dr. Nicole basically says she wants to share that because if you don't get that from this process, then it wasn't worth it. Like, you're going to go into your marriage and carry all that toxicity. So he says he's happy that it's not up to Dr. Nicole. And he says him and Charlena know what they're doing and what they want for their lives. Now, Otis and Charlena are back at home and he's cooking and he wants to talk and just make sure they're on the same page, especially after his, session with Dr. Nicole. She admits that she was a little angry at the last session, but feels like she needs to be heard by Otis in order for them to move forward and get married. She asked him what he thinks it took for his parents to stay together so long. And he basically says patience, but he feels like there was a lot of love. They just genuinely loved each other. Otis says that he's kind of scared because he's never loved anyone as much as he loves Charlena. And kind of like it really feels like he doesn't know what he would do without her. And tells her she's the one. He feels like she's the one. He asked Charlena how she feels about them being equipped for the long-term future. She says that we both know what we want, and she feels like despite the problems and whatever they have in the future, as long as they can work together and move forward, she thinks that they can and they will. And he says, we will. I said, look at this unity, Dr. Nicole. What are you not seeing? Let me stop messing with Dr. Nicole. I don't want those problems.
So Shay's dad, Joseph, comes over to see Fonzo and asks for her hand in marriage. Now, apparently he's done this before. This is the second time around.
Times.
But, he lets him know that he does want to ask for her hand in marriage. The first time he felt like they weren't ready, but they're in a great place right now. And Joseph says, are you sure? Because I didn't feel like I was in a great place before either. And, he says that he wants to marry, like when you say you want to marry someone, it's not just talk. It's a commitment, mentally and physically. And no one should be able to get in between that. And, love his baby. Okay? So watch yourself. Fonzo tries to reassure him and lets him know, with the tools he's learning, with Dr. Nicole, he feels like he should be able to mesh his family and keep everything happy. He also says, he wants to incorporate, Dad wants to know how he plans to incorporate her into his family. Will they accept her? And then will they accept him?
Right.
And basically he says, she is now a part of my family. And she's going to be a part of my life. So if you can't accept her, you ain't going to be a part of my life.
But the other side. But the other side.
And, he says, whatever it is, they got it. And he tells, Daddy tells him, look, you got my support 110%. He just would like to have, grandchildren. And Fonzo is excited. He said it's one step closer to her to be Mrs. Morgan.
So we get to Otis and Charlena. And he takes her out to a lovely, what it looks like a park.
He says today is the day.
The day.
He's got her favorite flowers. It's a nice scenery. And I was like, he better have a ring.
And of course he has a ring. He got on his nice silk, but the little shirt. I said, okay. He was trying to give Versace. Okay.
She was giving Versace with the bag, but I don't know what he was giving.
Oh, okay. But no, so he brings Charlena out there looking cute in her little one-piece jumper. I said, okay, girl.
It looked like something you would wear.
Right. That's what I said. So Charlena feels like in the process, they've had many ups and downs. He said he feels like he's at fault because in the past, he hasn't shown his feelings or been as vulnerable as probably he should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, he comes out there, presents us with the flowers, and she's like, "Thank you so much for doing this for me." He lets her know that I'm trying to give you exactly what you need. I know that you
Give
told
your
me
affirmations that you
right
want.
that I am an affirmation person. We need to hear it. So I was like, okay, Otis. And
I like the
basically
fact that he said it's hard to swallow how amazing she is. And he says it's very rare how outstanding of a woman she is. And she's like, I know. I was just waiting for you to catch up, homie.
right.
Um, and he promises to do better. And
And he
basically he
realized he
says,
needs to be more intentional in showing that he appreciates and values her. I said, Otis,
and he said,
talk
with
that
that being
talk.
said, I would like to ask you a question. Will you be my wife for the rest of my life? I said, of course. She said yes. And he actually thanked her. I don't know why I thought that was cute. He thanked her for saying that. And Otis is ready to start getting ready. He's ready to start on kids. So apparently that's what's next. They about to hop on getting ready for kids.
They hopping on the baby train.
So it's his turn, y'all. Okay. And he says he has a nice romantic dinner plans. And she says he is stepping all the way up. He got a driver. They
Yeah.
looking classy. It's it's
Fonzo did
given.
that.
Yes, he did.
That's proposal. Okay.
So she want to know what's going on, where they going, what they doing. He said, I'll give you a hint. Sky is the limit. They pull up to a helicopter, y'all. Actually giving me the sky. Okay. So they hop into this helicopter. They have a beautiful helicopter ride. She is just in amazement. Okay. And it was cute because he said, yeah, I cleared out the whole airport. No traffic. She was like, you got some real money. Yes, he does.
Right.
Clearly. Okay. So he says this process has been quite a ride. And basically she says through this process, it helped them a lot, and it helped her see herself differently and see Fonzo differently, through her self-awareness.
Okay.
Okay. And she says that she's actually overjoyed. Like, she's super happy, and he just needs to take care of one final step. And she wants to see if he completes it. So he actually tells us that, soon he'll be able to call her Mrs. Morgan, and it's going to be beautiful. He is really excited about it. Now, they land in the helicopter and they get to the hangar doors, and Shay is speechless. Okay. He has a beautiful setup. I mean, candles, red carpet, flower petals, private dinner, big ass plane inside. It was just beautiful.
Talk
It
about
was
backdrops. Talk about backdrops.
beautiful. And she said she was floored. And, he gave his little self a pat on the back, which he definitely deserved. And he tells her, he feels like their first engagement didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to. They weren't ready.
They weren't ready.
So he want to give it a second try. What about this fat ass ring, y'all? When he say he upgraded that motherfucker, he upgraded it. Okay. And then he had the light shining on it. I couldn't even see it. You see it at first. Okay. Until he took it out the box and put it on her finger. That's how shiny it was. It was reflecting off the light.
She's
so, right. And he was kind of playing with her, like, once I give it to you, I can't get it back. Like, what you want to do? She's like, Of course. She was like,
give me my ring, sir. Give me my ring.
Exactly. She was like, I love you more than anything or anyone else. So what had me messed up was they stopped making this running mascara a long time ago. She didn't even have on no waterproof mascara. She was there crying and emotional and stuff and messing up her makeup with all this black shit running down her face. It's like, goddamn shit, come on now. We know he got real money. You walking around with red bottoms, a beautiful ass dress, you can buy good ass mascara, lady. Regardless, it was beautiful. You know, and she said yes. And you know, they're talking about their wedding. He said it's gonna be over the top because he over the top. He wanted it all. She was like, "You want a band too?" He said, "If they fit in the chapel, the hell, bring it on." Okay, and she keep on showing up that ring. She like, ha ha. The thing is fat.
Right. Thank you guys for tuning into our, well, I won't say our last review, but our review of the finale. Putaringonit season 3. Please make sure, if you have not already, that you like,
comment,
you subscribe,
and hit the notification bell.
And yes, please make sure that you are following us on all platforms. And we will be here for the reunion because we got to see if what's going on with Kenneth and Shorty and see how our couples are doing.
Damn, I want to know about Otis and Charlena.
The news. Charlena is good and pregnant, y'all. We'll get back into it in our next review. We thank you guys. Love you. Have a good night.
Mwah.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe.